Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Julie Lee and you can find out more about what I do in the description box. So we're here today to do the pick a card reading, and this week's topic is what do I need, or what do you need to know about your work or your life purpose. And so just thought that it would be, at the moment when everything feels so uncertain, this could be helpful for you. If you have any other topics, do let me know as well. That would be interesting for you or be helpful. So we've got 3 decks to choose from as per normal. So if you want to choose either by group number, so 1, 2 or 3, or otherwise we've got crystals. So this is half of a small geode. I think it looks like quartz of some sort. So for group 2, we've got, oh my gosh, pyrite. For some reason, the words always escape me. So we've got some pyrite here, which is very beautiful and very strong. And then we've got the lapis lazuli for group 3. So choose the group that resonates with you and then click on the link in the description box and to see your reading, and hopefully that will be really supportive and help you along during the week. Alright, I'll see you later. Bye. Hi group 1, welcome to your reading. So let's see what you need to know about your work or your life purpose. I also pulled out a Louise Hay card randomly, so we'll look at that at the end. So let's see what your message is. So your message is radiance, rejoice in your life. Oh, so nice. I love how it's got all these pretty flowers, and what I'm feeling when I look at this card is it's about appreciating yourself, actually. Well, obviously what the message says, like to have joy and, that radiance that you are. And also to, I see her just really embracing herself and really almost like thanking herself for everything that she's done for herself. And so in terms of your work and, your life purpose, if you're not clear yet about where you're going, what I'm receiving is almost look at what it is that gives you joy, what really makes your heart sing, because that's what you need to share with the world. And it's not necessarily, because we have this idea of what work is, and for me it was going to the office when I was younger. I had this idea when I was at university and what my career would be like, and actually doesn't have to be your reality. If you're someone who that doesn't align with, then it means that something else is for you, that something is better, there's a better path for you. And even if for the moment you do work in an office, I mean you can still bring all of this there as well, and when the time is right, then you'll move on to something else. But whilst you're there, you can still bring joy. And I remember when that was me, and sometimes it'd be frustrating working because it just felt so uncomfortable being in this building all day and sat at your desk from 8 till 6 or whatever it was, but you can still bring joy. I used to bring my crystals to work. I used to do all those things that I do now, but because they made me happy. And so in terms of your work and your your life purpose, that's the bring the joy back into it. If you're starting to feel like you're flagging, bring the joy back into your life, because when you're in that joyful state, that means you're aligned with who you really are, and aligned with love, because that is your natural state, to be joyful and to be in love. So bring yourself back into that, and that's when everything will start to unfold, to be clear. And yeah, I'm just reading, you might not be able to see it, but there's a message there that says be radiant. And it really is just be in your fullest self and really shine your light. It doesn't mean you have to do anything intentionally, but do it with love, what feels good. And sometimes, even going for a walk and passing by someone, you happen to say hello, and that's a way that you shine your light. That you don't know that the effects that you have on the people around you. And so you do what really comes from your heart, and that is the gift that you share with the world. So that's really lovely. I like that. And so let's see what the tarot card has to say as well. What's the message for group 1? Oh, I think someone wants to come out. Message for group. Oh, a few cards popping out. Let me just grab those. This one came out, so I won't take all the rest because they're just too many. I might as well flip this over as well. And then okay, these two want to come out with you. Okay, so let me just pull these into view. Right, so at the bottom of the deck you've got the King of Swords. So the King of Swords is someone who's very clear about what they're doing. Like, I just see this sword and it's just like cutting out all the BS and just being fully truthful in one's truth, authentic. It's very strong actually. And so I think the request is being asked of you to do that, to really let go of all that ego stuff, that stuff that says I need to be doing this, or I don't, I'll never make enough money if I do that, or how will I, all those fearful things that come into our lives. Is saying no, cut it out. It's not true. What is it that you really want? And wow, it's talking very strongly today. But yeah, just like, what is it that you really want, and be clear about it. Because when it's the clarity, when we're clear about what we want, that's when we create and manifest all those gifts in our life. And it's when we're a bit wishy-washy and we're like, not so sure. And sometimes it's a matter of timing as well. I know for myself that I haven't always been clear because it just hasn't been the right time. But then once, either ask for support around you from your spiritual team, what is it that I need to know right now, or what, please help me along this path. You will get those messages, and also when the time is right. I really think that there's a timing aspect as well that comes into this. But yeah, that's a very clear message about just be honest with yourself. It's not about being honest with anyone else. It's just being honest with yourself about what it is that you really want in your life, and starting to let go of all that other stuff that you've been taught that doesn't help or support you anymore. All those old beliefs. It's time for those to go. And then we've got the Judgment card, and there's two ways to read this. Judgment can be, after all the work that you've done or whatever's happened, you have the angel coming and saying, well, this is what you get for all of that. It's almost like a balancing of karma, or rewards if you've done well, some type of, I don't know, other thing if you haven't done well. But for me, it's also really about judgment of ourselves, and how do you judge yourself in your daily life? Because it's something I feel that we've been taught or conditioned to just accept as normal part of life, but it doesn't have to be that way, and it's actually not of the highest good for ourselves. It's not loving to be hard on ourselves. And if we really want to be, in this joyful state, we have to lift ourselves up to be really kind and loving to ourselves. And if that's something you're not used to, then I can imagine that, it takes work. And I know for myself, it took a lot of work as well in my 20s to really, unravel all the stuff that I'd been told. And then, over time, it just becomes easier and easier. But you have to do the work to really, be aware, how am I judging myself? Where's that coming from? Can I let that go now? And then to allow yourself to, to shine, to be the highest you that you can be, or the, I guess the best you that you can be. And then you've got the Seven of Pentacles, which is reviewing, and look at the work that you've done, and really again have gratitude to yourself for all that you've done in the past and what you're doing now, and then allow that to form a part of, well, what is it that really gives me joy? Where am I moving to? This King of Swords, this vision of what you want your life to be. And it's really important to do that, otherwise you keep doing the same thing and nothing ever changes, or until you get, the universe says enough's enough, and you get that knock. So it's always preferable to do it yourself, because those knocks are pretty painful at times. And then this is saying, build the foundations for, once you get clear about what it is that you want, then build the foundations. And you can see this in two ways. It's almost like there's something that hasn't, the moon, it can be hidden, something that's hidden. And it's almost saying you might not see where you're going right now, but the path is being revealed to you. And you don't need to be afraid. Just sorry, I'm pausing because there's so many different messages coming through. But yeah, you don't need to feel anxious about it or upset. Just allow it to come naturally, because it will unfold. And perhaps be working with other people to allow that, because you've got these other people helping to create these foundations, so that other people might be a part of that process as well. So that's really great. So just really focus on the joy, what gives you joy, if you're in terms of your work or your life purpose, and get clear about what it is that you want. Let go of those judgments that don't serve you, so that you can move forward and create a future that is in alignment with who you are. And it will reveal itself if you're not quite sure yet. It's normal to feel anxious and worried, but just go with it. And then the Louise Hay card is, I let go of all expectations. And she's listening to the shell, which is really sweet. I flow freely and lovingly with life. I love myself. I know that only good awaits me at every turn. Is that not? That's just so perfect for your reading. Oh, so take note of this, and when you start to feel a bit wobbly, remember that life is here for you, that it actually wants you to succeed. The universe wants you to be joyous and happy. So, don't sabotage yourself. So I hope that resonates with you, Group 1. It's been lovely reading for you, and I'll see you at the next reading. Bye. Hi, Group 2. Welcome to your reading. So let's see what your message is with regards to your work, your life purpose. So what's the card? You've got reflection, healing, transformation. I'm just getting drawn in by these birds, who are the crows, which I think in the past were seen as messengers, and also the number 3 as well. It's almost, I feel like you're going through a healing process at the moment, and this is, this means giving yourself time to reflect, and also to hear the messages that are coming through for you, because when we're so busy we don't often do that. So it's really important to take that quiet time. And then I'm getting drawn also with the crow. I've never seen this before, but has like a pearl in its mouth, and it's almost like there's something that still needs to either be communicated to you, or there's something really wonderful waiting for you, awaiting you. And so it just feels really important to take that time out to really just go into nature and be still, and to hear. There's something like being in nature will really help you to hear the messages that you need to hear, to hear the birds, or there's something out there for you. It's really important if you can. And if you in the city and you can't get out and about, then even looking at the clouds or going outside and seeing anything that's green will just help you to absorb that energy. And getting drawn to that symbol as well on her third eye, And it's almost like intuitively you'll start to know what it is. Like, so if work is, you've got some issues at work, or it's almost just tune into yourself, and because that you already know what the answer is. That's what I'm feeling. And it goes with your life purpose as well. If that's something that feels unclear, or it's sort of not what you had expected, it's you're tuning into yourself will give you that message. So you give yourself that space to do that. It's really important. Alright, so let's see what the tarot has to say for you, group 2. What's the message for the group 2? Message, okay. They're quite straightforward today in coming out. Oh, so funny. I can't quite remember. I think it needs to be like this, actually. Right. I just feel what the order is, if you're wondering why I move these cards the way I do. Someone that I did a reading for, she just said it quite, said it in a lovely way, that I have a connection with the cards and I read the cards in a certain way, and it's true. Like, I hadn't really thought of it like that, but so yeah, that's just an aside. But anyway, so what you've got at the bottom of the deck is strength, and this is about remembering your own strength, and also taming that beast inside of you that maybe is a bit doubtful, or might not always be on your side. It's just because we have those parts of ourselves that are undeveloped, or have been hurt in at a past time, normally in our childhood. And so when you hear those voices that tell you, no, you're never going to get there, you're not doing enough, you're not doing what you're meant to be doing, what you're doing is rubbish. There's so many of those voices around, so it's really telling you to really tame that voice, and to remember your strength, that you are a strong person. And if I kind of wonder if you're going through a difficult time. This may be for some of you, because this is a general message, and if that is so, then know that you're strong, and you will overcome this, and just trust in yourself. And also the Hermit card is, I laugh when this came out, because it really is about taking time out. The Hermit, will go to the mountainside and just meditate for a while and think and consider his life. And when he or she does that, that's when the clarity comes, the star, the light shines. And this is the same with the reflection card. They go hand in hand. I just love how the cards work out. Just give yourself that time to reflect, to allow the messages to come through. Our inner voice is so powerful, but we often don't give it that space to be heard. And so that's all you really need to do, is listen, which is not too bad, not so bad. And then we've got the 8 of Swords. And so this is again, like, if you're not sure where you're going with your work or your life purpose, just know that actually you are free to move how you want to move. It's just your thoughts, and because the swords represent our thoughts and beliefs or ideas, those are the things that are stopping you from moving forward. It's not because of the situation you're in, or anybody is stopping you. It's actually yourself, and it's not meant to be. I don't say that in a horrible way, saying it's your fault. It's more like, take responsibility, because we all need to do that for our lives. And the more that we do that, the more we free ourselves to make decisions that are in alignment with who we really are, and it's for our highest good. So really untie those. There aren't really any things tying her back. She can move really freely, and you can too. So I think by taking that time out to reflect and really think about what it is that you want, or if you're having a difficult situation, to really hear what those messages are, then you'll find that you'll start to be able to move forward. And it's because we hold ourselves back with our thoughts and our beliefs, which have come from our childhood, etc. So taking the time out to reflect on that and to give yourself space to work through that is really important. And then you've got the Ace of Wands, and the Ace of Wands is about new beginnings. And so you have some new beginnings coming up for you. It's almost like you just need to give yourself that space to think and be before it will become clear. And I feel also because of the healing, you need time to heal, actually, to sort of go through, do a bit of a review of what hasn't worked, and why hasn't that worked. Has it been something, what I find really powerful when I'm going through something, first allowing myself to go through those emotions and to be with that experience, but also to ask myself, what is it that I'm meant to learn? Because when we can treat each experience as a learning one, then the emotions are still there, and they take time often to heal, but we get a different perspective of the situation, and you realize that no one is really out there to harm you. I would feel that majority of people, they mean well, but because of their own traumas and things like that, they act in ways that aren't necessarily loving. And so it's up to you, your responsibility to be loving to yourself. It's not their job to do that for you. And that can be hard, because it's kind of like, well, why are they treating me this way? And but really, when you start to realize that actually no one can really harm you unless you let them, then you regain that power to direct your life again. So I feel like the healing is a really important part of your getting clear about your work and your life purpose, if you're not clear, and also to really make the most of your work as well, and your life purpose, if that makes sense. And so really reflecting and taking that time out to see what it is that is holding you back, and also acknowledging those thoughts and beliefs so that you can let them go. And did I mention? I may not have mentioned. I pulled out a Louise Hay card because I thought that it would be helpful in the reading. And so this is the affirmation that you've got. So freedom is my divine right, which is amazing. It's so true as well. And I'm free to think wonderful thoughts. I've moved beyond past limitations into freedom. I'm now becoming all that I am created to be. That's so lovely. And so, yes, it's, you are now free to think what you want to think. So you don't need to hold on to those old thoughts anymore, which hold you back. And also that keep you stuck and limited. It's almost like I feel like a need to breathe and really just open yourself up and, stretch and be the biggest that you can, how do you describe it? Allow your energy to really go big and be the best that you can be, not in comparison to anyone else, but just with yourself. This is not a competition. This is just about being you, the best you that you can be and how you want to be. So thanks for watching Group 2. I hope that resonated and helps you this week, or whenever you fall across this or come across this video. And if you have any questions or you'd like some support, do get in touch and we can see how maybe working together could help. Alright, thanks for watching, and I'll see you at another video. Bye. Hi Group 3, welcome to your reading. So let's see what message you need to know about your work or your life purpose. And I also pulled out a Louise Hay card for you randomly, so we'll read that at the end. So the message we got is peace. Open your heart. So what I'm getting from this is about making peace with yourself or a situation that has happened or is happening for you at the moment. It's almost like I feel like somehow you've been hard on yourself and there's some sadness or some difficulty at the moment, and it's about finding peace with yourself, really. Because regardless of the situation, we can be angry at someone, we can be upset with somebody, but oftentimes we're most upset with ourselves. And I feel like there's a need to forgive yourself. That's something that you need to let go of, and to really just allow yourself to heal from it. Yeah. And then that will help you to find the peace with where you're going in the future. Because otherwise, if you don't let things go, if you hold on to things and you keep your heart closed, and that's when you're in that fearful place, in that lack place, and it doesn't allow the energy to move. Things feel stuck, stagnated. It can be a hard place to be in. So allow yourself to open yourself up again to opportunities, and to trust that things are working out for you, and to make peace with what's happening with you now. And that can mean sometimes the first step is just acknowledging what is happening and accepting that maybe things aren't working out the way that you had wanted them to, and that you're going through a challenging time. But it's almost like just need to go to that space of feeling it and going through that process. If you were torn between 2 and 3, so group 2 or 3, then take a look at group 2, because that might resonate with you as well. There's a similar theme there. But yeah, so I feel like making that peace with yourself is really going to be helpful in allowing your journey to unfold, and to get clear about your work life and your role, your purpose in life. So we'll just put that there, and then we'll see what the tarot has to say. So what's the message for group 3? Message for group 3 this week. Oops. Okay, so then, interesting. Oh, okay, there we go. So then we've got, at the bottom of the deck, we've got the 4 of Swords, which is the card of healing. And so it's quite relevant that, I was talking before about creating peace and letting go and all that type of stuff, which is part of the healing process. And so it's really important to give yourself this space to heal. And then let's move on to the first card coming out. Sorry if I was a bit distracted before group 3. I was just hearing some noise, so I'm back with you now. And then we've got the 8 of Swords, which is about being able to step out of the swords represent our thoughts, so it's being caught up in our thoughts, and that's where we feel a lot of lack of peace as well, and because we're caught up in that space, and it's hard to be open-hearted when we're in that situation, because we're in our heads and not physically in our hearts. So when you feel you're in that space, then just breathe, stretch, go out into nature to help you to reconnect with yourself again, and to know that actually you can move wherever you want to move to. You're free, you can do whatever you want, but it's your thoughts, your beliefs that are keeping you stuck where they are, and will, basically cause this lack of peace in your life. And then you've got the Hangman, and this being a major arcana card, signifies that, perhaps you're feeling a bit stuck in your work life, or in your, what your life purpose is, and that can feel uncomfortable as well, sort of like, where am I going, what am I doing? And if that is the case, then just know that this period of stillness that you might be experiencing, or this not knowing, is part of the process. I think sometimes in this modern world where it's immediate gratification, we kind of lose sight that there is a process, there is a way that things unfold and develop. So giving yourself that space, or allowing the process to happen, will allow you to get clearer. So each time you're not sure about what you want to do, it's telling you to get clearer about what it is that you want. There's always that two sides of the coin of what you're experiencing. And yeah, I keep getting drawn back to this card about just making peace with that. If you're feeling stuck, unsure, just give yourself a break, really, like be easy on yourself, and give yourself that love and support to say it's okay, this is happening the way it's happening. And we put so much pressure on ourselves because of the way I think we've been taught, and the way society is, that we need to have everything sorted, we need to know exactly what we're doing now, and we need to be following this process, not this process, but this, path that everyone else is following. And it's just not true. We each have our own unique purpose and role for being here. So give yourself that space to allow it to unfold. And even at points, for me, I've known for a long time what my purpose is, or I felt it very strongly, but it hasn't unfolded in the way that I would have imagined it to. And it's still unfolding. It just keeps unfolding each over time. And so just allow it. I'm thinking of an author, this lady that I've started listening more to on YouTube. She's passed away now. Her name's Dolores Cannon. Don't know if you know of her, but she does a lot of work about the spiritual world, etc. And she said that it took her 9 years in order to publish her first book. Things take time, and they don't always work in the way that, or unfold in the way that we think they will. Okay, it's so interesting because I've had a few issues already with recording this group, so it's almost like, and it's funny because now I'm looking at the Louise Hay one about letting go, and so I'm wondering that there's a strong message about that, in terms of like just really letting go and going with the flow of your life, and making peace with what's happening, rather than getting upset by it all. It's almost just very interesting anyway. Hopefully it doesn't bother it doesn't stop the messages coming to you. So the third card that you've got is the Queen of Cups, and sometimes I read it past, present, future, and sometimes I don't, but this time it really feels like getting into that space in now, in the near future, of getting into your heart space is really important, because the Queen of Cups is someone who is in her heart. She's very aware of her emotions, and she's mastered them as well. And so it's not necessarily, when you master your emotions, you can tell yourself what you're feeling, but you know how to manage them. And so you're able to observe them, you're able to acknowledge them, and then you act from a very balanced position. And so, and also I'm getting the message like it's safe to open up your heart again, because the Queen of Cups is someone who's very loving, and very, like I mentioned before, in her emotions. And so it's almost like it's safe to open up again. It's safe to to love, and you are safe as well. So just overall, just before I get to the Louise Hay cards, it's it's a healing process that you're going through at the moment, and part of creating that peace will be letting go of these old ideas and accepting what's happening at the moment. And when you do that, that's when the peace will come. And also the message to open up your heart to really know that you're safe and things are working out for you. And then Louise Hay card is I'm willing to let go. And on the back she's got, I release others to experience whatever is meaningful to them, and I am free to create that which is meaningful to me. So that's really lovely as well. So that's about letting others do what they want to do, and you focus on yourself, which is part of the message of this week's channeled guidance, actually, about staying in your power. So I'll include that in the description box, or the links, and you can take a look at that if that resonates. But yeah, so it's really about being able to let go of what's happening and allow yourself that peace and the healing that will come with it, so that you can open yourself up again, open yourself up to love, and allow things to move forward in this area. So I hope that's clear. Group 3 it's really interesting how it just the way it evolved. But if there's any questions or anything like that, do get in touch, and I can help you or answer them for you. Okay, thanks so much for watching. It was really lovely reading for you, and I'll see you in another video. Bye.